Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take a stack of truly thought-provoking sources and really unpack the most profound, surprising, and vital insights for you. Today, we're plunging into a topic that has not just stirred, but, well, truly defined humanity's imagination and hopes for millennia. We're talking about the audacious claim of ancient prophecies finally reaching their culmination. What if the most awaited figure in human history, the one anticipated across cultures and continents, has not only arrived on Earth, but is here, in human form, right now? Okay, let's dig into this. Our sources today put forth an astonishing central claim. The most awaited person in human history has arrived on Earth in human form. This isn't presented as some speculative what if. No, it's framed as the definitive answer to prayers and prophecies that span millennia, echoing through sacred texts and the collective consciousness of pretty much every major world religion. Think about the profound implications of this. For Christians who have, for 2,000 years, prayed for Christ to become the king of all the earth, their fervent pleas for thy kingdom come. Well, the idea is they're finally reaching a pivotal moment. And Hindus who have awaited Lord Kalki to end the tumultuous Kali Yuga, this age of, darkness and strife, and usher in a new golden era. Jews who have, for centuries, held firm to the expectation of the Messiah, a king and descendant of David who will bring about a reign of peace and justice. And Buddhists who understand the deep significance of Lord Buddha's previous incarnations, now anticipating a new spiritual awakening. This claim, it speaks to all of them.
Right. And what's truly fascinating here is how these deeply ingrained spiritual concepts, each unique to its tradition, how they converge. They resonate across such diverse belief systems. It really suggests a shared human aspiration, doesn't it, for divine intervention, for global transformation. The sources emphasize a truly unique claim. They assert, never before has there been one king for all of humanity, a figure capable of uniting disparate faiths and nations under a singular universal banner of, well, righteousness. This figure is said to have fulfilled prophecies, but maybe even more significantly. For the first time in 5,000 years, the whole duration of the current Kali Yuga, a clear, actionable roadmap has apparently been presented to end this age of moral decay and strife.
And that roadmap, which is absolutely central to our deep dive today, is called the Kalkiist Manifesto. Our sources describe it not as some, mystical scroll or a cryptic prophecy, but as a strikingly practical guide presented by this figure. It's accessible to anyone willing to read it, it's open for public discussion, and notably, it's explicitly presented as being open to challenge. The manifesto itself apparently states that the simplest, most direct way to disprove this figure's profound claim of being Kalki, is to challenge the roadmap itself, to prove its principles are invalid, its logic flawed, or its proposed solutions unworkable. And so far, according to our sources, no one has even attempted this critical examination.
That's a powerful testament to its purported robustness, wouldn't you say?
Indeed. It's an intriguing proposition. It shifts the focus, doesn't it, from purely mystical claims or just blind faith to verifiable solutions and tangible action. It invites rigorous inquiry rather than just acceptance. So our mission in this deep dive is to explore these profound claims with you, to dissect the ancient prophecies that underpin them, to understand this proposed roadmap for global transformation in, well, intricate detail, and to delve into the challenges and the monumental opportunities this arrival presents for humanity. We have an incredibly rich and thought-provoking body of material to explore, and yeah, we're excited to unpack it with you.
Okay, so let's start at the very bedrock of this journey, this universal longing, this desire for a divine presence, a guiding hand in the grand narrative of humanity. For countless millennia, humanity has collectively gazed at the stars, whispered prayers into the silence of night, and awaited the fulfillment of promises etched in sacred texts, passed down through generations. This isn't just a cultural phenomenon, right? It feels like a shared thread woven into the very fabric of human existence, pointing to a profound, universal truth, a deep, inherent yearning for guidance, for redemption, for some kind of cosmic course correction. It's a fundamental human experience, this looking beyond ourselves for something more, for a path out of suffering and into harmony.
That's precisely it. This yearning isn't confined to one culture, one tradition, or one historical era. It's common. It's a resonant motif that appears again and again across diverse spiritual narratives. It hints at a collective spiritual memory, maybe, or aspiration. In Christianity, for instance, the anticipation of the second coming of Christ, that's been an unshakable cornerstone of faith for 2,000 years, a hope woven into the very fabric of belief and practice. Churches around the world in every language, across every denomination, they echo with the profound words of the Lord's Prayer, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven." And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this prayer isn't merely personal. It's not just a plea for individual salvation or a quiet hope for the afterlife. It feels like a cosmic aspiration, a fervent desire for divine intervention and active transformation to establish a kingdom of justice, peace, and love right here on earth, mirroring the harmony of the heavens. It implies a complete reordering of reality.
And Hinduism offers an equally profound and intricate narrative, the concept of the yugas, these vast ages of time. Cycling through distinct phases of human consciousness and moral virtue, we're currently said to be in the Kali Yuga, the Iron Age, an era vividly characterized by, well, pervasive moral decay, escalating greed, widespread strife, and a spiritual disconnect that often feels overwhelming. But central to this understanding is a powerful prophecy that at the darkest hour of the Kali Yuga, Vishnu, the preserver, will incarnate as Kalki, the warrior savior. His divine mission is clear: vanquish the forces of adharma, unrighteousness, and restore dharma, the cosmic order and righteousness, thereby ushering in a new golden age, the Satya Yuga. It's not just a societal cleanup, it's envisioned as a fundamental cosmic reset, a rebalancing of existence itself.
And this resonates deeply with other traditions, too. It reveals a striking pattern of anticipation. The Jewish people, for example, have awaited the Messiah for even longer than 2 millennia, centuries, in fact. A hope deeply rooted in their ancient texts and living tradition. Their expectation is for a figure who will lead, liberate, and unequivocally establish peace on earth. This Messiah is envisioned as a king, a direct descendant of King David, someone who will not only rebuild the Holy Temple, but more broadly, bring the entire world into perfect alignment with God's divine will. This isn't just political leadership, it's spiritual and global reordering.
Right. And even in Buddhism, you discovered this profound connection, though it's maybe framed differently, not a savior in the conventional sense. The life and teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, who became the Buddha, laid the groundwork for expecting the next Buddha, Maitreya. Maitreya is prophesied to appear eventually, to complete the work of liberation, restore the purity of the Dharma, and bring about a new era of profound spiritual awakening for all sentient beings. Here's where it truly gets interesting, because these diverse yet converging threads across vastly different faiths, with their unique mythologies and spiritual frameworks, they undeniably point to a powerful universal longing. A longing for a singular, transformative figure, a real turning point in human history.
And our sources take this convergence a significant step further. They reiterate the remarkable claim that this awaited figure isn't a new divine manifestation, but one intimately connected to humanity's past. They state, he was Lord Rama 7,000 years ago in the Treta Yuga, and Lord Krishna 5,000 years ago in the age that followed, the Dwapar Yuga. He was also Lord Buddha 2,500 years ago, right at the transition into the Kali Yuga. This suggests a profound and consistent idea that the same divine essence has taken human form repeatedly, across different yugas, different cultural contexts, each time to guide humanity toward enlightenment and righteousness, adapting its form and message to the specific needs of the age. This raises an important question, doesn't it? What does it mean for a divine essence to manifest across such diverse ages and cultural contexts, seemingly adapting its form, teachings, even its name, while maintaining this consistent overarching purpose of upholding Dharma and guiding humanity? It implies a dynamic, compassionate, maybe evolving relationship between the divine and humanity, a continuous thread of guidance weaving through history.
Absolutely. It suggests a singular, grand, unfolding narrative rather than just a series of isolated, disconnected events. It paints a picture of a consistent divine presence working through the ages. This deep understanding leads us perfectly into our next section: how these ancient prophecies are now said to be not just anticipated, but definitively fulfilled. The appearance of this awaited figure isn't presented as some random occurrence. It's positioned as the culmination of prophecies echoed through time across diverse religious traditions, meticulously coming to fruition in this very moment.
Indeed. Let's look at the Christian prophecies first, as they offer some, well, striking parallels. The Christian Bible, particularly the book of Revelation, which is quite mystical and symbolic, speaks of the second coming of Jesus Christ with vivid imagery. Among the most compelling visions is that of a rider on a white horse. Revelation 19.11 says, I saw heaven standing open, and there before me was a white horse, whose rider is called Faithful and True. With justice he judges and wages war. This imagery, right? A righteous, powerful figure on a white steed. It resonates deeply with Hindu depictions of Lord Kalki. Kalki is similarly described as appearing on a magnificent white horse, wielding a sword to vanquish evil. The parallels are strikingly specific. Both figures are prophesied to usher in a new age of peace and justice by confronting and overcoming the forces of darkness and injustice. It really suggests a shared archetype across these traditions.
And Jesus himself spoke directly about the nature of his return. In Matthew 24.27, he says, For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. This suggests it's not just a localized event, it signifies universal recognition, an undeniable presence that transcends geographical, political, and cultural boundaries. The awaited figure, as described in our sources, isn't confined to one nation, one race, or one faith. His presence and his message are said to speak to the entirety of humanity, seemingly fulfilling this promise of global, undeniable significance. It means his arrival isn't something that can be hidden or missed, but rather something that resonates across the entire planet.
Moving to Hindu prophecies, the ancient Puranas describe the 10 incarnations, the Dashavatara of Vishnu. Kalki is the final and most anticipated avatar, prophesied to arrive at the absolute end of the Kali Yuga, this current age of darkness and moral decay. The Vishnu Purana offers a vivid description of the conditions right before his arrival. When the practices taught in the Vedas and the institutes of law shall nearly have ceased, and the close of the Kali age shall be nigh, a portion of that divine being shall descend upon earth. This passage, it doesn't just describe a general decline, it specifically points to a time when foundational spiritual and ethical practices, those universal principles of truth and righteousness from the Vedas, have been largely forgotten or discarded. Our sources state that the Kalkiist Manifesto is presented as the very fulfillment of this prophecy's solution, outlining practical, accessible steps to overcome the moral and spiritual challenges of the Kali Yuga and rebuild a world rooted in compassion, justice, and spiritual awakening, effectively restoring those lost Vedic practices in a modern context.
Then we delve into the Jewish prophecies. The rich Jewish tradition, deeply grounded in the Hebrew Bible, speaks of the coming of the Messiah, a descendant of King David, someone who will establish a universal reign of peace and righteousness, repairing the world, tikkun olam. Isaiah 9.6 offers a profound description of this fair. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. The awaited figure's mission, as presented in our sources, is said to reflect the very essence of these majestic titles. He offers guidance and wisdom as a wonderful counselor, exudes a sense of divine authority as mighty God, provides foundational care as everlasting Father, and crucially presents a roadmap that actively seeks to establish lasting peace as Prince of Peace. It's about fulfilling not just one aspect, but the entirety of these messianic expectations, apparently.
And another critical Jewish prophecy, painting a powerful picture of this transformed world, comes from Micah 4.3. He will judge between many peoples, and will settle disputes for strong nations far and wide. They will beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. This isn't a passive vision, it's an active transformation. The instruments of war literally repurposed for peaceful, constructive ends. The very impulse for conflict is transcended. This vision of a world utterly free from war. It resonates profoundly and aligns precisely with the goals articulated in the Kalkiist Manifesto. The roadmap doesn't merely aspire to end violence. It presents a comprehensive framework for resolving the underlying causes of division, competition, aggression, creating a sustainable, deeply rooted foundation for global peace. That's a truly ambitious claim for any document.
And finally, we have the Buddhist connection. While, again, maybe not framed in terms of a personal savior in the same way, Buddhist texts like the Anagatapavamsa describe Maitreya, the future Buddha. He will appear to complete the work of liberation begun by Siddhartha Gautama and lead humanity into a new era of profound enlightenment, thereby restoring the purity of the Dharma. Our sources connect the awaited figure's teachings to this goal of spiritual growth and collective awakening, emphasizing ethical living, mindfulness, collective responsibility as the path to this enlightened future. It's a shared aspiration for a fully awakened humanity.
The extraordinary aspect here is not just the isolated fulfillment of individual prophecies within single traditions. It's the profound, almost uncanny convergence of these prophecies across vastly different systems. Each tradition offers a unique lens, a distinct cultural expression, yet they all seem to point to the same core truths. A time of crisis precedes the arrival. The figure brings a transformative message or a clear roadmap. The mission is unequivocally universal, and the ultimate goal is global peace, justice, and spiritual awakening. This convergence fundamentally challenges the notion that religious differences are insurmountable barriers. Instead, it highlights the deep interconnectedness of humanity's spiritual heritage, a shared underlying hope for redemption and transformation, revealing a larger, intricate tapestry, maybe a divine plan that transcends the perceived boundaries of individual religions. It's a powerful statement about our shared spiritual DNA.
So what does this all mean for us, the listener? It means these aren't just isolated stories or interesting theological coincidences. They're presented as threads weaving together a singular, overarching narrative unfolding for millennia. It suggests that despite our diverse paths, our unique rituals, our distinct languages for the divine, humanity has, on a collective level, been preparing for this very moment, with signposts meticulously laid out across different traditions for centuries, all leading to this specific turning point. And this convergence brings us directly to a profoundly resonant prayer, one that many of us know intimately but maybe haven't fully considered in this truly specific universal context: the Lord's Prayer.
Precisely. Across the world, in countless languages and diverse spiritual traditions, people utter prayers, carrying humanity's collective hopes, fears, deepest yearnings. Among these, the Lord's Prayer stands apart in its universality, its timelessness, its astonishing resonance across cultures and faiths, particularly the profound phrase, "Thy kingdom come." Our sources state that the arrival of the most awaited person in human history gives an entirely new depth and immediate possibility to these very words. For 2,000 years, Christians have prayed for the literal realization of God's kingdom on earth, a realm where divine will reigns supreme, where peace, justice, love are not ideals but lived realities. The appearance of this awaited figure, fulfilling prophecies across multiple religions, offers an extraordinary tangible opportunity to explore the true meaning and far-reaching implications of this prayer for all of humanity, not just for one segment.
It's truly fascinating how a prayer rooted in one specific tradition can possess such universal resonance. Even though the Lord's Prayer is distinctly Christian in origin, its core essence seems to transcend those specific religious boundaries. Its petitions for daily sustenance, for profound forgiveness, and for ultimate deliverance from evil. They speak directly to fundamental universal human needs and aspirations. They resonate with everyone, regardless of their spiritual background. It speaks to a common human condition and a common human hope.
And its opening plea for God's kingdom to come resonates deeply with aspirations found in so many other faiths. In Hinduism, the concept of a divinely governed order is expressed through dharma, not just righteousness, but the eternal principle sustaining the universe. The coming of Kalki is prophesied to restore this cosmic dharma and establish a new age of harmony, directly mirroring the Christian hope for God's kingdom. Similarly, in Judaism, the longing for the Messiah includes establishing a kingdom guided by divine wisdom and universal peace, echoed in the Aleinu prayer's hope for a world perfected under the sovereignty of the Almighty. Even in Buddhism, the idea of a universal awakening under Maitreya reflects a comparable yearning for a transformed reality, a world enlightened by compassion and wisdom where suffering is minimized. This raises an important question, doesn't it? Why do so many diverse spiritual paths, often seen as separate or even competing, share this fundamental, deeply ingrained yearning for a divinely governed order, a transformation of the world into a realm of peace and justice? It suggests a deeper, shared human consciousness seeking ultimate fulfillment, a fundamental recognition of something inherently missing in the current state of affairs.
It truly does. It's almost as if we're all, on some fundamental level, praying for the same ultimate outcome, just using different languages and metaphors. And the phrase, "Thy kingdom come," isn't merely a passive wish. It's framed by our sources as a powerful, active call to action. It expresses a fervent longing for a world where divine will not only inspires, but actively shapes human affairs, where profound justice decisively replaces oppression, selfless love fundamentally overcomes hate, and inherent unity triumphs over debilitating division. It's a vision for systemic change, not just individual transformation.
The Kalkiist Manifesto, according to our sources, provides a detailed, comprehensive framework for both understanding and actively realizing this monumental vision. It fearlessly identifies the deeply entrenched barriers, like pervasive greed, spiritual ignorance, systemic corruption, debilitating fear, and offers surprisingly practical, actionable steps to overcome them. It unequivocally does not promise a utopia delivered by divine fiat. Instead, it issues a clear, compelling call for both collective human effort and profound personal transformation. For example, the manifesto outlines the critical need for restoring justice, creating genuinely fair, equitable, transparent systems, proactively addressing systemic economic inequality, ensuring universal access to quality education and healthcare, protecting the rights of the vulnerable. It emphasizes fostering unity, consciously bridging gaps between cultures, religions, nations through deliberate dialogue, mutual understanding, committed cooperation. It calls for cultivating compassion, actively practicing kindness, empathy, forgiveness in daily lives, recognizing the ripple effect. And crucially, it highlights aligning with spiritual truth, reconnecting with our inherent divine essence, embracing values beyond superficial materialism, grounding action and deeper purpose.
It's truly a holistic and comprehensive approach. It extends far beyond just the kingdom come aspect. The Lord's Prayer also petitions for, "Give us this day our daily bread." Our sources explain this not just as a request for physical food, though that's included, but as a deeper acknowledgement of our spiritual and holistic needs. It's about cultivating a holistic approach to development, one that explicitly prioritizes sustainability, equitable distribution so all can thrive, and profound spiritual fulfillment, not merely accumulating material stuff. It challenges the very definition of wealth.
Exactly. And then there's the petition for profound forgiveness. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us, end quote. The manifesto presents forgiveness as a foundational cornerstone of this divine kingdom, interpreting it as both deeply personal and profoundly collective. It calls for individuals to genuinely let go of resentment, the burdens of the past, and for societies to courageously address historical injustices and systemic wrongs, emphasizing principles of restorative justice, seeking to repair harm and rebuild trust, rather than just perpetuating cycles of punishment. It aims to heal societal wounds, not just manage them.
And the final petition, "Deliver us from evil," resonates deeply with this figure's overarching mission and the challenges of the Kali Yuga. Evil, whether it manifests as greed, violence, corruption, or ignorance, it's seen as the primary barrier to realizing the kingdom. The roadmap identifies clear, actionable strategies for confronting and overcoming these obstacles. Through comprehensive systemic reforms, universal education, cultivating critical thinking and compassion, and consistent spiritual practices fortifying the individual and collective spirit, ultimately, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's the radical transformative vision. A world where divine will is not an abstract ideal or a distant hope, but a vibrant, lived reality for all.
And crucially, the fulfillment of this prayer, this grand vision, is explicitly stated as not being solely the work of the awaited figure. It is presented as a profound collective human responsibility. His mission isn't to impose a new order from above, but rather to empower humanity, to inspire and guide us to actively create it together, using the principles of the manifesto. This dynamic partnership between the divine and the human is fundamentally at the heart of both the prayer itself and the comprehensive roadmap for global transformation. It's a shared endeavor, a co-creation.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? It means prayer is not passive. It's an active, powerful expression of faith, hope, and unwavering commitment. To genuinely pray thy kingdom come is to commit yourself to actively working toward that kingdom, to consciously align your life with its values of justice, love, unity, and to trust in the divine plan as it unfolds through human hands. It's a compelling call to be a conscious co-creator of this transformed world, realizing that your actions, however small, contribute to this monumental shift. This profound, interwoven understanding of prophecy and universal prayer then brings us to a truly fascinating concept that underpins much of what we've discussed: the cycles of time. Our sources delve deeply into the ancient Hindu philosophy of yugas, or ages, as a profound and insightful framework for understanding time. Not a simple linear progression, but as complex, cyclical patterns of rise, fall, and fundamental renewal. The awaited figure, whose very presence signifies a monumental turning point, emerges at a truly pivotal moment in this vast cosmic cycle, indicating a shift from one epoch to another.
This cyclical framework provides such rich and vital context for the awaited figure's arrival. It's not arbitrary, it's perfectly timed, aligning precisely with his immense cosmic clock. Hinduism meticulously divides cosmic time into 4 great ages, or Yuga Satya, Treta, Dvapara, and Kali. Together, they form a complete cycle known as a Mahayuga. These ages reflect a gradual decline in human virtue, moral integrity, spiritual understanding, even physical longevity, representing the moral and spiritual evolution, or maybe devolution, of humanity across vast stretches of time.
Let's quickly run through them to grasp the scale. First, the Satya Yuga, the Golden Age, characterized by absolute truth, unwavering righteousness, perfect harmony, profound spiritual enlightenment. Humanity lives in perfect alignment with Dharma, experiencing universal abundance, inner peace, a tangible closeness to the divine. No need for complex laws, everyone just as righteous. Then comes the Treta Yuga, the Silver Age, a slight but noticeable decline in virtue. Imperfections emerge, sacrifices become necessary to uphold Dharma. This is the age associated with Lord Rama, who embodies perfect duty in a world where challenges start to arise.
Following that is the Dvapara Yuga, the Bronze Age. A further, more significant decline in morality and spiritual understanding. The balance between good and evil becomes more tenuous. Humanity struggles more profoundly to uphold Dharma, leading to larger conflicts and greater need for divine guidance. This era is vividly remembered for the life and profound teachings of Lord Krishna, navigating immense societal and spiritual complexities. Finally, we arrive at the Kali Yuga, the Iron Age, the current darkest age we are in, characterized by pervasive darkness, profound ignorance, rampant moral decay, widespread corruption, overwhelming materialism. The spiritual connection for most is tenuous at best. Yet, crucially, Kalki is prophesied to appear precisely in this age to decisively end the cycle and restore Dharma, initiating the transition back to the Golden Age.
It truly paints a vivid and, frankly, sobering picture. We are, according to these sources, living in this Kali Yuga, and its symptoms, as our sources describe, are painfully evident all around us. Pervasive economic inequality creating unrest, the pressing environmental degradation threatening our planet, debilitating political polarization making cooperation seem impossible, cultural fragmentation eroding shared values, and a deep sense of alienation, often masked by superficial distractions. Ancient texts like the Mahabharata and the Puranas paint a prophetic picture of this age. Truth and integrity become incredibly rare. Leaders prioritize personal gain over collective well-being. Relationships are strained. Spiritual practices lose their depth, replaced by empty rituals.
But, despite its apparent hardships and darkness, the Kali Yuga is also paradoxically described as an age of profound, unique opportunity. It's said that spiritual progress, while undeniably harder due to overwhelming distractions and internal challenges, is also remarkably more potent now. Acts of genuine devotion, compassion, unwavering righteousness, they carry greater spiritual significance precisely because they stand in stark contrast to the prevailing darkness and apathy. The awaited figure's arrival in the Kali Yuga aligns perfectly with this duality, signaling not just the continuation of darkness, but explicitly the beginning of the end of this age and the imminent promise of a new golden era, a fresh start for humanity.
And this figure, the awaited one, is explicitly and profoundly connected to these past divine incarnations. Our sources state he was Lord Rama in the Treta Yuga, embodying perfect adherence to Dharma. Lord Krishna in the Dvapara Yuga, offering wisdom in complex times, and Lord Buddha appearing at the cusp of the Kali Yuga, bringing teachings on liberation from suffering. Let's delve deeply into the timeless lessons each of these extraordinary figures offered, as they set the crucial spiritual and ethical stage for the current moment and the mission of the awaited figure.
Absolutely. Lord Rama from the Treta Yuga is universally celebrated as the epitome of virtue, duty, unwavering righteousness. His life, chronicled in the Ramayana, serves as a timeless blueprint for righteous living and ethical governance. Key lessons from Lord Rama include, first, the paramount importance of duty, Dharma, profound selflessness, unwavering commitment to responsibilities, even at great personal cost. Second, the transformative power of sacrifice, consistently putting the greater good above his own comfort or desires. Third, the profound virtues of compassion and forgiveness, extending mercy even towards those who wronged him. And fourth, an unwavering faith in divine will, giving him immense strength and resilience. The awaited figure, according to our sources, embodies many of these foundational qualities. His roadmap explicitly calls humanity to embrace these very principles. Duty, integrity, service is the path to harmony. For example, Rama's unwavering adherence to promises, even leading to exile. That's mirrored in the manifesto's call for ethical leadership, prioritizing collective well-being and truth over personal gain, even under pressure.
Then we have Lord Krishna from the Dvapara Yuga, celebrated for his profound wisdom, magnetic charisma, strategic brilliance. His teachings in the Bhagavad Gita, delivered on a battlefield, offer insights into duty, devotion, the nature of reality. Key lessons from Lord Krishna include, first, the crucial balance between action and detachment, Karma Yoga, performing duties with full effort but without attachment to results, liberating oneself from anxiety and ego. Second, the necessity of strategic thinking, demonstrating acute wisdom and discerning judgment in intensely complex situations vital for modern leadership. Third, the transformative power of love and devotion, reminding us the divine is intimately involved and accessible through heartfelt connection. And lastly, unparalleled courage in the face of adversity. From his birth in prison to guiding the Kurukshetra war, inspiring us to face struggles with strength and faith. The awaited figure, our sources tell us, shares Krishna's emphasis on purposeful action, strategic wisdom, unwavering devotion, encouraging humanity to engage courageously and thoughtfully with Kali Yuga's challenges.
And Lord Buddha, often revered as an incarnation of Vishnu and a bridge into the Kali Yuga, he represents the ultimate pursuit of enlightenment and liberation from suffering for all beings. His profound teachings form the foundation of a major global spiritual tradition, emphasizing mindfulness, universal compassion, the cessation of desire. His key lessons include, first, understanding the nature of suffering through the Four Noble Truths, identifying attachment and ignorance as root causes a clear diagnosis of the human condition. Second, advocating for the middle way, a balanced path of moderation, avoiding extremes of asceticism or indulgence. Third, emphasizing compassion as a universal principle, encouraging boundless kindness and understanding towards all living beings. And fourth, cultivating mindfulness and inner peace through practices like meditation, leading to self-realization and liberation. The awaited figure, like Buddha, deeply emphasizes self-awareness, inner balance, universal compassion. His roadmap explicitly incorporates these timeless principles as essential components of societal and individual transformation.
So let's unpack this. The wisdom from these past figures isn't just dry history or ancient mythology. It's presented as a living, breathing guide for today's complex world. Our sources highlight profound common themes running through all these divine incarnations, relating directly to the awaited figure's mission now. They all relentlessly sought the restoration of Dharma, guiding humanity back to righteous living. They exemplified leadership through selfless service, always prioritizing collective welfare over personal ambition. And they all brought about transformation through decisive action, whether through battle, teaching, or radical social reform. They also consistently underscored the paramount importance of faith and unwavering devotion to higher principles. Each of them, despite their divine nature, faced immense resistance, misunderstanding, fierce opposition. Rama's unjust exile, Krishna hunted by tyrants, Buddha's teachings initially dismissed. These historical challenges are powerful reminders that divine missions aren't without obstacles. And the awaited figure's mission is no different, facing contemporary skepticism, inertia, entrenched resistance.
Indeed. But these past struggles and triumphs, viewed through this lens, offer profound hope, reminding us that truth, justice, compassion, though sometimes tested, ultimately prevail through divine guidance and human effort. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the wisdom of the past isn't forgotten or discarded. It's meticulously carried forward and applied to the present. The awaited figure's roadmap explicitly builds on these timeless lessons, providing a framework for effectively addressing modern challenges with ancient wisdom. Practical applications include cultivating truly ethical leadership, fostering cohesive communities, promoting spiritual practices, engaging in social reform. The journey forward, as our source states so elegantly, begins with a step back to truly honor, deeply understand, and effectively apply the invaluable lessons history generously offers. It's through this synthesis of ancient wisdom and modern application that a new world, aligned with Dharma, can truly be built.
This rich historical and cyclical understanding brings us full circle to the very core blueprint for transformation, the Kalkiist Manifesto itself. Our sources describe it as something far more transformative than mere miracles. Not a fleeting spectacle, but a detailed, robust blueprint for profound individual and collective renewal. One that actively invites rigorous inquiry and intellectual scrutiny rather than demanding blind faith. It's a testament to its practical, actionable nature.
That's right. The primary and most urgent purpose of the Kalkiist Manifesto is to provide unprecedented clarity in an age of profound confusion. In this Kali Yuga, where we struggle constantly to discern truth from falsehood, where information overload often obscures wisdom, the manifesto serves as a clear, unwavering compass, offering precise direction. More broadly, it aims to illuminate universal truths transcending cultural and religious boundaries, foster genuine unity by emphasizing our fundamental interconnectedness, promote concrete action by providing practical steps, and inspire deep, abiding hope in the face of what often feels like insurmountable despair.
At its very foundation are core principles that echo timeless truths yet are applied with modern relevance. The first is the oneness of all life, profoundly rooted in the Advaita concept of non-duality. This isn't just a feel-good philosophy, it's the fundamental premise that at the deepest level, all existence is one unified consciousness, dissolving the artificial boundaries we create between ourselves, other beings, even the divine. It reminds us separation is an illusion, a construct. This fundamentally redefines how we approach economics, governance, social policy, challenging narrow identities, demanding empathy, cooperation, a truly global perspective. It means dissolving the very concept of other in policymaking, viewing all beings as interconnected parts of a larger whole.
And this foundational principle is followed by the restoration of Dharma, which is absolutely central to the manifesto's vision. It means rebuilding a world where Dharma isn't just a concept, but an actively upheld reality at every single level. Personal Dharma, where individuals live with integrity, compassion, purpose. Social Dharma, where equitable and just systems are created, ensuring mutual respect, opportunity for all. And environmental Dharma, calling for a profound shift in our relationship with Earth. viewing it not as a resource to exploit, but a sacred living entity to cherish and care for. The manifesto also highlights the power of knowledge, defining it not merely as intellectual understanding or academic accumulation, but as spiritual wisdom and profound self-awareness, an awakening to one's true interconnected nature, seeing education as a journey of inner liberation.
And it strongly advocates for the pursuit of balance, a vital principle for navigating modern complexities. This means finding equilibrium between material and spiritual, individuality and community, action and reflection. It urges humanity to find a nuanced middle path, avoiding extremes like excessive materialism or unproductive asceticism. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, it's a powerful call to action, emphasizing that profound transformation, both personal and collective, requires sustained effort, immense courage, unwavering commitment. This isn't just abstract philosophy, it's a concrete, actionable framework for how we live and co-create a better world.
These principles aren't abstract ideals. They form the basis of a detailed, actionable roadmap for transformation, meticulously structured around several key areas. First, spiritual renewal. Reconnecting with our inherent divine nature, cultivating inner peace, practicing mindfulness. The manifesto encourages practices like meditation, prayer, reviving ancient wisdom traditions, building vibrant interfaith communities. Second, social reform. Directly addressing systemic inequality and injustice in areas like poverty, education, healthcare. Proposing strategies for economic equity, ethical leadership, restorative justice systems, prioritizing healing over retribution.
Third, environmental stewardship. Calling for a complete paradigm shift from exploitation to reverence for nature, recommending rapid transition to renewable energy, robust policies protecting biodiversity, education on conscious consumption. Fourth, global unity. Envisioning a world where nations and cultures genuinely work together, dismantling structures that perpetuate conflict, strengthening international institutions, promoting cultural exchange, establishing peaceful conflict resolution mechanisms. And fifth, technological integration. Advocating ethical and mindful use of technology, harnessing advancements to enhance education, healthcare, sustainability, while ensuring equitable access, safeguarding privacy, addressing ethical implications of AI and automation.
This raises an important question. How do we transition from these profound principles to tangible, real-world change, especially facing challenges like resistance from established power, inertia of old habits, the sheer scale required? The manifesto explicitly views these challenges not as roadblocks, but as transformative opportunities for growth, resilience, collective wisdom. It emphasizes the awaited figure inspires and guides rather than imposes solutions, making it a collaborative effort. It's a process of collective awakening and participation.
Exactly. The profound transformative potential of the Kalkiist Manifesto lies not only in its content, but in its unique ability to ignite a collective awakening. It challenges our deepest assumptions, broadens our perspectives, inspires immediate, meaningful action. It's not just a guide for a distant future, it's presented as a mirror reflecting the immense potential within each of us to contribute actively. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? It's an open, compelling invitation to be part of something truly monumental, to rise to the occasion, to actively participate in co-creating a new, more harmonious reality. This comprehensive, visionary blueprint then brings us to a compelling and truly actionable next step, the practical realization of the kingdom of God on earth. This isn't just a theological concept, a poetic ideal, or a far-fetched fantasy. It's presented as a universal aspiration, a tangible state where justice, compassion, truth prevail in every aspect of life, a direct, practical call to action for all of humanity.
That's right. At its core, the kingdom of God, in this context, represents the fundamental alignment of human life, society, governance with divine will, and universal principles. While different traditions interpret it uniquely, universal elements consistently emerge. Unwavering justice and equity for all, pervasive compassion and love as guiding forces, genuine unity and active cooperation, deep sustainability and responsible stewardship, and a collective spiritual awakening. If we connect this to the bigger picture, these aren't abstract ideals. They are tangible, measurable goals demanding deliberate effort, strategic planning, systemic change, which the awaited figure's mission focuses on translating into concrete action.
But the path to this kingdom, especially within the Kali Yuga, is undeniably fraught with immense challenges. Our sources explicitly list these current obstacles: widening economic inequality fueling unrest, the escalating environmental crisis threatening our existence, debilitating political polarization hindering cooperation, cultural fragmentation eroding shared values, and a pervasive spiritual disconnection fueled by materialism and technological distraction, leading to inner emptiness.
And the Kalkiist Manifesto offers a comprehensive, multifaceted roadmap
Yeah.
specifically designed for overcoming these formidable challenges. It begins with personal transformation, calling individuals to cultivate integrity, compassion, mindfulness through spiritual practices like meditation, prayer, self-reflection, actively overcoming personal fear, ignorance, selfishness. Then community building, emphasizing creating supportive, inclusive communities, promoting dialogue, mutual aid, celebrating diversity. It also calls for radical systemic reform, transforming structures like education, fostering critical thinking, ethical leadership, economic systems, ensuring equity, sustainability, democratic institutions, enhancing accountability, representation.
Beyond that, environmental stewardship is presented as absolutely crucial. Concrete actions like transitioning to renewable energy, implementing conservation policies, promoting sustainable living education, and finally, global cooperation, fostering collaboration among nations by strengthening international organizations, promoting cultural exchange, implementing robust peace treaties and conflict resolution mechanisms. It's a truly layered, integrated approach. Change must happen simultaneously at all levels.
The awaited figure serves as a vital guide, profound teacher, powerful catalyst in this grand endeavor. His presence inspires faith, clarifies universal truths, provides the practical framework of the manifesto. However, he does not impose solutions but explicitly empowers humanity to take full ownership of its transformation. This crucially underscores the realization of the kingdom is not solely his work. It's a profound, active partnership with humanity, requiring engaged participation of individuals, communities, institutions, nations. Each has a critical role.
And we are already seeing clear signs of this progress, indicating that, as our sources state, the seeds of the kingdom have already been planted. Our sources point to a global increase in environmental awareness and action, powerful social justice movements demanding equity, remarkable tech advances harnessed for good, growth of meaningful interfaith dialogues, and a palpable resurgence in spiritual values and search for deeper meaning. So, what does this all mean for you, the listener? It means the vision of the kingdom isn't just a distant dream, but a dynamic journey already underway. And through your individual choices and collective actions, you are undeniably a vital part of it. Your engagement matters. As with any profound claim or truly transformative vision, the path to widespread understanding is often quite naturally met with skepticism. This deep dive wouldn't be complete without directly addressing the skeptic's challenge, as our sources themselves do. They acknowledge profound transformation often meets doubt, but they also highlight that skepticism, rather than being inherently negative, can actually be a powerful force. Properly engaged, it encourages rigorous inquiry, fosters essential accountability, promotes deeper engagement. It's not a barrier, but an invitation.
This raises an important question. How can doubt, which often feels like an obstacle, actually be a catalyst for deeper understanding and genuine progress? The sources suggest that by directly engaging with skepticism, the awaited figure invites humanity to move beyond blind faith, which can be fragile, and instead embrace a faith grounded in knowledge, critical reason, verifiable personal experience, building belief from the ground up through rigorous examination.
There are common doubts skeptics frequently raise, and our sources offer insights into addressing them. First, doubts about his identity, traditional expectations about appearance, location, lineage, or the performance of dramatic, undeniable miracles. Many might expect grand, overt spectacles to prove divinity.
Right. And the response from the awaited figure, as conveyed in the sources, is crucial. It fundamentally redefines what a miracle truly is. The true miracle, they assert, lies not in defying natural laws through ostentatious displays, but in the profound, tangible transformation of human hearts and minds. The real evidence, they say, is found in his teachings, the actionable blueprint of the Kalkiist Manifesto, and the measurable positive impacts and actions of his followers. Regarding the perceived limitations or imperfections of a human form, it's explained as an act of compassion and relatability. The divine choosing to be intimately involved in the human journey, sharing our experiences, making teachings accessible, rather than remaining distant. It's an immersion into humanity. Then there are significant doubts about the roadmap itself. The sheer overwhelming scale of the proposed change, the anticipated formidable resistance from entrenched power structures, those benefiting from the status quo, and fundamental questions about human nature's capacity for such widespread collective selflessness and sustained cooperation. These are not trivial concerns. The response here is clear. It's emphatically presented as a profound, incremental process, not an overnight solution. Lasting, fundamental change requires time, immense collective effort, perseverance. The principles in the Kalkiist Manifesto are described as adaptable and universal, allowing diverse communities to tailor them to unique contexts while upholding the core vision. And finally, concerns about compatibility with existing beliefs, whether his mission invalidates other faiths or how deep-seated religious differences can truly be reconciled. The direct answer is his mission is explicitly not to replace or invalidate any existing faith, but rather to illuminate shared truths underpinning all spiritual paths and serve as a unifying presence. It actively encourages individuals to deepen their own faith while embracing the wisdom and shared aspirations of others, recognizing a larger, universal spiritual current.
Here's where it truly gets interesting. Skepticism isn't just tolerated, it's actively embraced and engaged with as a vital partner in this mission. The awaited figure, according to our sources, approaches it with profound patience, crystal clarity, and empowering invitation. He explicitly invites skeptics to test his principles, judge the roadmap's merits through their own direct experience and rigorous examination. The evidence, therefore, isn't limited to traditional miracles. It extends to undeniable alignment with ancient prophecies, the transformative power of the roadmap, with communities reportedly seeing measurable improvements and compelling personal testimonies of life changes. Constructive skepticism, far from being a hindrance, can actually improve the roadmap, broaden dialogue, build invaluable trust.
And that leads us to the dawn of a new era. The end of the Kali Yuga, our current age of darkness, is not portrayed as automatic or predetermined. Instead, it's presented as the direct result of conscious human effort, profound collective action, decisive divine intervention. It fundamentally requires widespread awareness, clear alignment of values with Dharma, and tangible, sustained action to transform entrenched systems and mindsets. The vision for the Satya Yuga, the new golden age, includes universal harmony, profound justice and equity, widespread spiritual enlightenment, ethical integration of technology, exemplary environmental stewardship. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the future is emphatically not yet written. It is actively being shaped by the conscious choices and dedicated actions of the present moment, by each one of us.
The awaited figure acts as a powerful teacher, unifier, visionary leader, profound empowerer, guiding humanity to consciously co-create this new era step by step. The roadmap outlines comprehensive steps for personal transformation, community building, systemic reform, global unity. Even resistance is addressed, with strategies like education, dialogue, leading by example, perseverance. Moreover, signs of this nascent new era are already visible. Grassroots activism, tech innovations for good, interfaith initiatives, cultural shifts towards mindfulness and well-being. This entire profound journey we've embarked upon, from ancient prophecies culminating to a modern roadmap, culminates in a tangible, practical next step: the pilot project. Our sources emphasize humanity stands at the threshold of profound transformation, no longer a distant ideal, but a living process rooted in actionable steps. The Kalkiist Manifesto laid out the blueprint, but its true effectiveness, its validity, lies firmly in practical implementation. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? This isn't just about lofty ideals, it's about witnessing and potentially participating in, seeing these principles put into concrete action.
Precisely. The bold next step articulated in our sources is to implement the Kalkiist economy within a single receptive country as a comprehensive pilot project. Its purpose isn't just testing concepts, but demonstrably proving the practical feasibility of this revolutionary approach, providing a living example of transition from Kali Yuga systems to Satya Yuga structures. The Kalkiist economy, outlined in the manifesto, has 5 key pillars: equitable distribution of resources, eliminating poverty; sustainable practices, putting planet over profit; ethical governance, rooted in transparency; community empowerment, fostering local resilience; and crucially, spiritual awakening integrated into economic activity, recognizing value beyond the material. This raises an important question. How do you translate such comprehensive principles, touching every facet of life, into a real-world economy, with all its complexities, power dynamics, human habits? It's a monumental undertaking.
That's indeed the million-dollar question, isn't it? The pilot project serves as that critical, indispensable bridge between the conceptual framework and potential global implementation. Its objectives are clear. First, serve as undeniable proof of concept, demonstrating achievability. Second, facilitate invaluable learning and adaptation, allowing real-time adjustments. Third, serve as powerful inspiration for replication elsewhere, creating a ripple effect. Criteria for selecting the pilot country are also laid out: strong receptiveness to change, manageable scale for implementation, and existing challenges the Kalkiist economy is designed to address, demonstrating effectiveness directly.
And implementing this profound systemic change is certainly not without significant hurdles. Our sources realistically identify key challenges, like inevitable resistance to change from entrenched interests, fear of the unknown, skepticism, Solutions involve engaging stakeholders, transparent communication, demonstrating early wins to build trust. Another challenge, immense technical and logistical complexities, demanding expertise, infrastructure. Solutions involve building local capacity, leveraging technology ethically, fostering global collaboration.
Then there's the profound cultural and social adaptation required. Introducing a new system inherently disrupts traditional practices. The manifesto suggests approaches rooted in cultural sensitivity, active community engagement in decisions, comprehensive education campaigns to build awareness and support, helping people understand why changes are needed and beneficial. Early steps for this pilot are clearly delineated. Establishing leadership governance structures, conducting baseline assessment of conditions, building public awareness support, developing a detailed strategic plan with timelines, metrics, partnerships.
Success will be rigorously measured, qualitative and quantitative indicators across all pillars. Key indicators: reduced income inequality, poverty, economic equity, improved public health education, social well-being, reduced carbon emissions resource consumption, environmental sustainability, increased community participation, community engagement, greater emphasis on mindfulness, ethics, spiritual practices, spiritual awakening, expected outcomes, equitable resilient economy, stronger social cohesion, healthier environment, and crucially, a proven model for other nations to replicate, accelerating the global transition to Satya Yuga.
This pilot project isn't an end in itself. It's envisioned as a powerful catalyst for broader global transformation, creating undeniable ripple effects. Successful elements can be adapted globally, influencing international policies, inspiring other nations, fostering a cultural shift toward a global ethos of compassion, responsibility, interconnectedness. The awaited figure's guidance is integral, providing inspiration, wisdom, direction, ensuring alignment with manifesto principles. So we've journeyed through the profound claims of the awaited figure's arrival, explored how ancient prophecies converge, delved into the universal yearning in prayers like "Thy kingdom come," learned from history's cycles and past incarnations, and dissected the practical roadmap of the Kalkiist Manifesto, leading to the vision of a kingdom of God on earth. We've considered skepticism's constructive role and how this vision is now moving from blueprint to concrete reality with a bold pilot project.
It's a truly comprehensive and deeply interconnected narrative, revealing a profound sense of purpose. The sources reiterate with conviction that this kingdom, this transformed reality, is not a distant, unattainable dream, but a tangible reality within humanity's reach, profoundly dependent on our collective effort, shared commitment, willingness to participate, and the powerful call to action. A reminder that the power to co-create this transformed world lies not with one figure alone, but within each of us.
And as we close out this deep dive, our sources leave us with a truly powerful and reflective thought stating, "The journey forward begins with a step back to honor, understand, and apply the lessons that history so generously offers." So for you, the listener, consider what taking a step back truly means in your own life. Is it a deliberate pause for profound reflection on your values and purpose? A reevaluation of your priorities in light of these visions? Or perhaps an active re-engagement with ancient wisdom traditions, searching for personal meaning and practical guidance? What personal reflection and what specific actionable steps might this transformative potential inspire in your own life right now?
We deeply encourage you to continue exploring these profound concepts, to read the manifesto for yourself if you feel drawn to it, and to recognize your own crucial and active role in this potential unfolding global transformation. The insights are there, inviting you to be a conscious part of humanity's greatest, most hopeful journey, should you choose.